Check, let's go. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, 33? Tell me something good.
Everybody, you know, they tell me life don't come with no million, so we're going to take it a day at a time.
Man, about time you got here, man. Light your cigar, do whatever you got to do. Get comfortable so we can get this game going. Oh, shit, what do you need to come out? Man, just hold your man, man. That's all you got to do. Play some defense.
Man, too late, man. Domino, game.
Good days, great nights. Good days, great nights. Ooh, oh, oh. Pick your favorite cigar. Some cognac. Well. We back again. Thank y'all for tuning to the GoodDays, GreatNights podcast. I go by Cool Breeze. If you know me in the cigar world, I got me 33. Leisha and Harrison's daddy, or they father, depending on how you want to use your words. Your auntie's favorite podcast host, and your uncle's new nephew. This one right here, bro, it's gonna be that one. I say it all the time, but I ain't never been in a room with this kind of pressure. You know what I'm saying? They got some smiles that's kind of tearing me up in the inside right now. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see it. We're gonna title this one out the gate. I'm gonna give it to you. It's her perspective, in the sense of the way we live the life. Sometimes when we live world, we all kind of feel like as men sometimes we don't understand women. So I got something for you. It's going to kind of help you. It ain't the God of all gods, but I got some great women that's going to come and sit down and talk to y'all about some different things. So in the sense of that, this episode is sponsored by Blackco. They took care of us. They gave us a great event space. Let us come in here and show us some love. She made me sit down. I was trying to cut up pinwheels and all kind of other stuff. So she was like, hey, chill, I got it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't let me smoke my cigar in here. But she did let me chill. She let me light the candles and all of that, so it's cool. The homies came through. They helped me set up some stuff, got some different things. So I just want to have a good time with y'all today and vibe. So we're going to start this thing off. I want to go to, I always say Houston. So let's go to New York. Let's go to New York. We're going to New York City, all right? We're gonna fly in. We're gonna stay out, out in the burbs. We got an Airbnb. We all getting ready to go out. Everybody chilling. So I'm the cool cat that get a chance to be with in the room with some serious vibes, right? So I call my homies. They on their way, but y'all get to ride with me to the venue. In the sense of riding with me to the venue, I just need 2 songs because the other ladies don't know you in the sense of who you are as a person. They may have heard that you have a business. They may have heard that you live in Houston. They may have heard that you got about 10 businesses and you doing your thing. Just open one. They may have heard that at 6:30 in the morning you yelling at people talking about, one more. You can do one more push-up, one more sit-up. You dig what I'm saying? So we want to do it like that. So I don't know who want to start first. It don't really matter. Just jump in there for me if you can. Matter of fact, let's go. I'm going to go with you first. So you can grab that microphone right there. Two songs that would, if nobody knew you right now, we in the car, we riding, getting ready to go to the club, we getting ready to have a good time. You get to play 2 songs. They don't got to be off there that's in your hand. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, just a second. But just 2 songs right now in your playlist that if a person didn't know you, it'll tell you who they are. Who you are, I'm sorry.
I would say Best Friend.
Is it on that?
It is.
No, it don't have to be on that.
Oh, it don't have to be on
You just
there.
got that for something else. I got you in just a second.
Oh, okay.
So just your regular playlist right now. So right now, they want to know who you are.
Ooh,
They want something with some bop in it. You know, they want to know who you are as a person. So right now, you get 2 songs. And it ain't as easier than what it thinks it is.
Sure.
Yeah. What you pull in? What you pull in playing just a minute? What was you playing?
So my song right now is by Burna Boy. No, not Burna Boy, but Wizkid, Essence.
Okay, that's what.
Yes.
Tell me about Essence. Tell me a little bit about it.
Essence is basically talking about, like, I want you, like, you don't need no other body, like, just my body. This is enough.
Talk your talk, Queen.
So,
Talk your talk. Talk your talk, Queen.
so yes, Essence has been on repeat, honestly. So that's my song right now.
Can you squeeze one more? You got one more?
One more. I've been on some Afro beats lately.
That's cool. Give me one. It don't even matter. And I'll make it make sense in just a second.
Burna Boy, yeah. It's just like a good vibe, good energy. I love dancing. I love moving my hips. So.
No doubt. So you got a CD in here.
I do.
They don't even make them no more. I had to go.
They don't.
I had to search high and low for that. You know what I'm saying? So what you got in your hand?
I have Brandy.
So if a person asked you, we was joking. Faith Evans or Brandy, and you picked Brandy. Mm-hmm. Why Brandy your person? As a kid, can you remember anything about Brandy or anything?
I just loved, like, just her vibe. She was very multi-talented. She could sing, act. Loved her voice. At that time, I could relate to some of her songs. So yeah, very relatable at that time.
Oh, okay, no doubt. So do me a favor. Introduce yourself.
My name is Porica.
Okay.
I am originally from Kansas City, but I live in Dallas, Texas now. I've been in Dallas for 8 years.
The Triple D. That's where you're at?
Yes, that's where I'm at.
All right, no doubt. I thank you.
Okay.
Got somebody to your right.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on, friend?
All right, so 2 songs.
2 songs.
Man, that's hard because I love music. But I would say if something stuck out to me right now, it would have to be Pop Smoke and LMA.
Okay.
Because, both of those artists, they are just, like, confident. They bring sexy, to the platform like no other. So, and I think I see myself like that, just confident and sexy, but have a level of confidence without the cocky, very easily to approach. Just and can vibe on every level, no matter what the conversation is. And I feel like Pop Smoke and LMA do address that in their music. So, that's where I am with my music.
Or just both of them?
Yeah, both of them. Those are my 2. Pop Smoke, LMA. I don't have a particular song right now.
Okay.
I kind of vibe with all their music through various albums that they have. So I'm kind of like a all over the place type of music lover. So, but if I had to describe my vibe right now, it would be Pop Smoke and LMA.
Okay, no doubt. What's that in front of you, right there?
So I have Frankie Beverly.
Hold on now. Don't just
Maze.
Hold on now. Don't just run past. What is that? That ain't just Frankie. That's a vinyl.
Well, it is a vinyl. It is.
Don't just run
it's a
past
classic.
that. Okay,
it's definitely a classic.
Now. Don't do me like that now.
Yes, it's definitely a classic. It's Maze, Frankie Beverly.
Talk about it.
Again, a vibe, very old school, very classic. It reminds me of my dad in a lot of ways. Growing up as a young girl, that's all he did was play music. And so when I think back to just love and just showing emotion, I think about music and I think about my dad. And so this is one of those albums that he would just play. And so we grew up in the hood, He lived off of 38th in Brooklyn on a dead-end street. So my dad would bring his big speakers out on his porch and just play music all day. And everybody knew, that's Bob up the street, in the dead end. So people would come by. So it just, like Joy and Pain, that's one of those songs where, you feel good, but you done been through some stuff. But joy comes in the morning, sunshine and rain, all of that happens at once. Yes, and you can feel those things, through music.
No doubt. So do me a favor. Introduce yourself.
So I'm Shardae Shears, born and raised here in Kansas City.
Come on, give me some more. What else you got?
I didn't know if you
Go ahead, come on.
So I'm Shardae Shears, born and raised in Kansas City. I am a mother of 2 young men. I I am a licensed hairstylist. I work at Loose Hair Salon with a group of amazing women down on 2004 Grand. Okay. I am also an event planning. I own an event planning company where I specialize in small and intimate events. I can also host events in my small and intimate event space. I am a planner for weddings and all types of other special events, as well as offering event decorating. I was a educator, so I taught for 9 years before I stepped in the arena to be 100% entrepreneur. So that's my background, a little bit of my background there.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
You got somebody to your right, right? Okay.
To the right. No, I'm just kidding.
Talk your talk. Come on. What you got? 2 songs?
2 songs.
Don't remix me. Give me something new today.
I ain't gonna remix you. But there are 2 songs when I get in my car that always seem to find their way to the top of the list.
Okay.
One is Sorry Not Sorry. It's with Nas and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And DJ Khaled, I think. I really like that song. It's the whole vibe.
Yes,
the grown men are in that video doing their thing.
Yeah.
But more than just that whole, I'm unapologetic about who I am and where I have been able to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Myself at this time. So I really like that song for that. And then the other song is way to the other side of the spectrum.
Come on.
But it's Toni Braxton. How Many Ways Can I Love You?
Okay.
She's super sexy. She's super grown. She also knows how to voice her opinion, and she's in tune with her sexuality, and I like that. Okay. So those are my 2 songs.
And you got some. You got that thumper in front of you right there.
Let me tell you about Big Bub, okay?
You got the cheat code.
Oh my gosh! And so my older brother, and
Okay.
he's in his 50s now. So when I say older, I mean he's a little bit older for sure.
Right.
But he used to bump this all the time. But I didn't start listening to it until probably about 2 years ago, and I was like, "Dang, where has he been at?" I was like, "Oh, that's what he was listening to." So I'm a lover of all things.
Yeah.
But I'm really super affectionate. I love, and he got some cuts on here.
Yeah,
So Call Me and Settle Down is probably my 2 favorite. So I absolutely love Big Bub. And it's just good riding music, too. If you just want to get in the car and just ride, you can throw his CD on and just vibe out.
No doubt. Okay, so you do me a favor. Introduce yourself.
Introduce myself. Okay. Okay, so I am Christina Williams, and I am the co-owner of The Black Company, which is a members-only gentlemen's club where we connect outstanding men of color.
Yes, ma'am.
Super excited to be here and be of service to our men in our community and providing them with a safe space. So if you are not following us, can I go ahead and shout out?
You can do it
Follow
real
us
quick.
at The Black Code. It's BLAKKCO. Facebook, Instagram, website is www.theblackcode.com.
No doubt.
All right.
To the right. Come on.
Okay, 2 songs.
2 songs.
So, all right, I'll do the 2 songs I've been listening to the most. So, Her with Little Baby Find a Way.
Okay.
Love that. I love her. I love Little Baby. Song just kind of reminds me of making a way. Like, regardless of what's going on, we're going to find a way to make it happen. So, kind of my life story.
Okay.
Second song, Lil Ratchet, 42 Doug, Maybach.
I was okay.
Future.
Go, I'll tell you about
I
it.
listen to that like every day,
Tell you
all
about
day. It's
Okay.
a workout song that I love.
And then
Oh, that's 2, right?
that's 2. What you got in front of you?
Okay. I have a vinyl in front of me, Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
This album means a lot to me. He is so motivational, inspirational. Everything that he says, I love. Like the whole CD, just about everything. He came from the struggle. He made a way. He cared about the community, which is kind of goes hand in hand with me and what I do, because that's what I do it for. It's my community. So, introduce.
Please do.
Okay, I'm Christina Perry, owner of Body Love Personal Training and Fitness, Health and Fitness. That's pretty much it.
Mother?
Oh, I'm a mother, yes. I have a dog and a daughter. 2 girls.
Okay.
9-year-old, or no, how old is she? She 11. 11 and a 9-year-old.
Okay.
My dog's 9.
Appreciate it. You can take this one right here. In front of you, this one. Yeah. 2 songs, ma'am.
Okay, 2 songs. So I kind of was able to cheat because I was thinking the whole time y'all was going. So the 2 songs that I came up with, one is Mary J. Blige,
Okay.
Just Fine. Like,
Okay.
that's my song. Like, I play that, like, when I'm in the car, when I'm just driving, and I'm probably on somebody's Snapchat because I be kicking it to that song. And just basically what she was just talking about, like, you know, no matter what struggles you go through, no matter, like, what you encounter, you always got to know, like, I'm going to be just fine. And one of my favorite, I've came up with a quote for myself.
Talk your talk.
And it's, I don't gamble, but if I did, I would bet on myself. So that's how I feel. So, I don't know. That one's that. And then the other one is a little bit more recent. It's Bruno Mars, and I don't know the other people's name, but okay, yeah, thank y'all. But Leave the Door Open, and I feel like that's like a little bit more smooth. You know, this is kind of like everybody is on this 2-step in there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I love 2-stepping to that song. So that's stepping.
Okay.
Okay.
And then,
that's it.
Okay. And then what you got?
I actually have a CD, and the CD that I have is Monica. And I really, really love Monica. I love her. And one thing that I like about Monica that I can relate to is Monica has stayed relevant through all these years. Now, Monica might not be, and I say this with respect, but she might not be at the top of the list or, you know, like on the top of, you know, what people might somebody what they might mention when they're talking about, like, females in the industry, but she's maintained, like, she's coasted through, and that's how I feel about myself. Like, I'm always, you know, maintain, do what I got to do, kind of going back to just fine. So, tying out full circle.
So, do me a favor, introduce yourself.
Okay, so I am Goldie Powell. And I am now a full-time entrepreneur. So what I do is websites. I have a business called Cyber Creations. By the way, we're hiring. And I also do what is called the Blacklist. So that's a website for people to go, and you can search different categories to find what you're looking for in the Black community. So I do that, and I'm in the military as well.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So I got a cool panel, right? So
yes.
I got a cool panel, right? So everybody got their thing, right? So let me go and get me out the way real quick. I pick Guy, you know what I'm saying? 2-step, Pop's mom, everybody. Like, piece of my love on that joint. Say goodbye. It's that thing. But I also picked it for the fellas because ain't nobody here but me. But I'm not here to, my goal is not to criticize, it's just to listen. So I'm the listening ear for the fellas. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why I picked Guy. There's some sticky notes on the table. We kind of talked about it prior. I'm going to really let y'all kind of just do your thing in the sense of certain things. But I'm going to ask a couple questions. But we looking at, like, perspective. So if you was to think about, like, certain things that you want to talk about, you would want to make sure that, you dig what I'm saying, stick it on here. When I go see the guys, fellas, be ready for the hall pass coming very soon. Make sure y'all ready to answer them truthfully, very transparent. It's going to be uncomfortable. So if your hall pass ain't turned in 2 days before the event, don't come. Because I don't want nobody old lady, nobody kids. Talking about my daddy can't come home because he went over there and he was talking too much. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all do y'all piece there. But that's why I picked Guy. It's just one of them things, and I'm big on 2-stepping. So. And, you know, if it wouldn't have been that, it would have been the Levert family. So kind of gave y'all a list of whatever, look at it in the sense of showing difference. So I like to dance, you see what I'm saying? So when I'm having a conversation with her, I'm gonna make sure I'm upbeat. I ain't gonna come with a drag because coming with a drag would kind of like kill her vibe. She wanna be having a good time, you see what I'm saying? If I'm playing Maze, I'm a reminder of her pops, so it's a more or less of a, you know what I'm saying, a thing of having a good time and being the cool cat on the neighborhood, you see what I'm saying? The cool person that everybody knock on the door and they don't have a problem with asking for anything from Pops because he just seemed approachable. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you go Big Bub, that's just everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause in the sense of me, because that's one of the ones that, you know what I'm saying, when you look at it, when Teddy Riley did it, when he was producing it with Big Bub, that was the first time he was in his R&B bag. That's one of the one albums outside of, like, Life, the artist Life, that I can play all the way through. I can play that album all the way through. Listen. I got you. Don't worry about nothing. So I'm gonna break it down. You know how like if you're in the club and you hear Joe Good Girls, that's an essence of that. You dig what I'm saying? Like that was that era of that. Like guaranteed that. Nipsey, of course, Without a Giving, love it. Shoot, I shed tears when he left, and when I watch some of the memories now, just because he was 33, and that's what they call him in the cigar world. So that kind of ties into it. Also, the 42 song, maybe I just heard it last night, and I'm like, yeah, because I don't really. I'm on the other side, you know. I like a lot of R&B, so but it was cool. Monica, that was my crush back in the day. That was back. That was back, and it's a song on there you can step to as well. So kind of switching up in the gears of it, I want to ask you guys a question in the sense of like stereotypes. We're gonna kind of get into the meat and potatoes of it. So a lot of times people base things off of like a woman is this, most women are this, most men are that. What are some stereotypes that you've heard or had to endure in your life as far as being a black woman? Just it is what it is. So give me some stereotypes if you can. Flip through whoever want to go first, whatever. Just talk about it. Just
women being more feminine, and not being, I guess, as masculine. Like, because it's just like, black women are looked at as like just strong. We the independent, and it's not that way. Like, we do want a man. We do need a man. We want someone to lead. Yeah. So I hear that a lot. Like with men, like a lot of women are not feminine, or black women are not as feminine. It's like they give off more masculinity than feminism. What
do you think changed it though? What made it become that? Like, if you can look at it and say that. Like,
I would say social media.
Yeah.
I would say just women having maybe kids younger, and like if you don't have the father, like the daughter is just seeing their mother do it on their own. So it's just like now they might have now integrating in their head, like, okay, I'm gonna be independent like my mom, right, versus like understanding we need that man, we need him in the household, we need him, we need him,
right,
all together. So I would say that.
Okay. So that's okay. What you got? It don't matter. Y'all can mix it up. Whoever want to go, you can go. Whatever.
You want to wait? Okay. I would say that women don't listen. That's a stereotype, and I would say that most women do listen. And I would have to say, even for myself, when I found myself not listening, it was really reactive to feeling disrespected, trust being broken, not feeling valued. So for me, it was like once those things happened, I found myself kind of shutting down. Yes, and so you were talking, but I wasn't listening. And I wasn't in the mindset to listen either, because again, either I felt disrespected, right, I didn't feel appreciated. Something happened, you know what I mean, to shift that. And for me, it went all the way back really to my father. Yeah. And I can be honest, because while I grew up with both parents in the household, it wasn't necessarily the healthiest environment. And so seeing my father do some things that I didn't particularly care for, it just, for him to be kind of that first male role model in my life, I found myself not having respect for him. Mm-hmm. That pattern began to follow me. So if I was in a situation with a relationship, being my ex-husband or whoever, I just felt like once again, I felt disrespected, felt like I couldn't trust you or something of that nature. That's when I did find myself carrying that same attitude of not listening. But reality is that we do listen. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot. Yeah. But we do listen too. And we love to listen to men who are leading, mm-hmm, men who respect us, men who value and appreciate us, and also hear us. Because hearing it's really a two-way, form of communication. I'm listening as you're talking to me, but, that's reciprocated back if we both are doing it to each other. So I just think it's a myth that women don't listen. It's more so if you find that she's not listening, why is she not listening to me? Where is the breakdown in the communication?
So with that, do you think both women and men, we listen to respond, or do we actually listen to hear? And when I say that, sometimes I think like a lot of cats, they'll be like, you'll give me a list. You do this, do this, do this, do this, this, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to take what I think is the most important thing and I'm going to put it on a tier, right? What did you say? Run it right back, mm-hmm, right? But I'm really running it right back for you to be quiet. Mm-hmm. So I can just do it and get it over with. You see what I'm saying? There's no shade in it, but it's that some women, when you're talking to them, if you say, I feel like this, and this, they're going to say, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. But I feel like this. So now it's a game of my feelings are more important than your feelings. From a man's standpoint, I'm telling you, like, you can see that sometimes with some men where they're listening to just respond and get it over with because they don't want to be on the hot seat. Because when you giving it to us, as far as the things we don't do, a lot of times we're kind of like jaded in a sense because we're like, dang, bro, like I gave you all of this, or I'm doing all of this on your list, but I missed one thing, and it's like it's kind of like a highlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and I just feel like that's back to the level of maturity of the individual.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you become in relationship with someone, it's about give and take.
Yeah.
So you are always, or should be, in the thought process of I'm listening, I'm hearing, I'm also able to share my feelings, but I'm also more concerned about the other individual as well. So, self takes a back seat. So It's not always about how I feel, because it's easy to do that, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. And even today, I feel like I'm conscious about making sure it's not I, but neither should I hide how I feel. But it's always about what you say. I mean, it's how you say it versus what you say. Right. So being more open, to others, and listening to them is great. And I think that maybe why men are being quiet, and maybe you can share your thoughts on this. Y'all are quiet a lot. And so maybe you are listening. And maybe when you respond, it's like, I now have the right thing I need to say. Right. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But
I think so. I think it's that, and I think it's fear. Fear of not doing what a woman feels like you need. I seen something the other day. Somebody sent it to me. It was another podcast I thought was dope. I think it's like cruise season or something. Men are not taught how to be husbands. They're taught how to be men. Mm-hmm. They're taught you're taught how to provide. They're not. Nobody gives you a menu. They give you different books now and say, hey, to improve your marriage, do this. To improve your relationship, do this. 5 love languages, this. All of that. You get all of that. You get everybody. You even got American Pimp if you want to take it that way. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got different stuff, right?
Right.
But nobody tells you this is that. Because every time you try to be that, if it's a boyfriend, today you may want flowers. 2 weeks from now, the smell of flowers get on your nerves.
It could be tomorrow.
Now you've changed, right? Now you've changed. But he's feel like, I've mastered this already. Mm-hmm. So now I got to go master this. So it's an ongoing battle with a man because he feels like he has to please. You see what I'm saying? You look at it in the sense of like every day it's that, like that. You look at different people, dogs, kids, women, automatically get a benefit of the doubt. You see what I'm saying? Like love. They love kids. See a baby, oh, baby's cute. See a woman, she may not be your cup of Hennessy, but she's somebody's Dr. Pepper. You see what I'm saying? A man, everything he earns, and Chris Rock said it has to be based off of what he provides you to feel. You see what I'm saying? Your feelings, how he makes you feel. It's not off of just him just genuinely loving you. It's based off of how he feels. So a lot of times when you're listening and you're going through all of that, it becomes a checklist. And I think that's something that men fear is a checklist because you'll think about everything you've done right in the sense. I'm telling you, like, you'll genuinely think, all my partners say, like, hey, bro, I did this, I did that. Mm-hmm. And it ain't enough. Well, you got to keep going. I understand every day they change. Every day you change. Every day you evolve because he's going to change. But a lot of times we're just quiet for the fear of making mistakes. Mm. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have something to say? Okay. So to piggyback off of that, I think one thing that came to mind about stereotypes is a woman's need, like how men think our needs are materialistic things, So I just think that a lot of times not enough men take the time out to understand who they are dating, who they are with, to provide that need of that single woman. You know what I mean? Of that particular woman, of who you're dating. Not who you use today, who liked purses or bags or whatever the case may be. So I think that is a huge stereotype where men really come into situations and think that every woman their needs are materialistic things, and that's not necessarily the case. And I think a lot of times, piggybacking off of the checklist, men saying, oh, I did this and I did that and I did this for her. And it's like, okay, well, were those things that you did things that you thought would make her happy? Or were those things that you know that she needed in that moment or in that time or where she is in her life in that time? So I think just realigning, per se, for the men, who are you dating? What do they need? What is that woman desiring in that moment? What does she need? What are her needs for where she is in her life? Then that's when, you know, you can start doing all the checklists. But don't do checklists because you think that's what she's going to need. Yeah, it's going to be a temporary happiness, temporary fix. But if that's not what I really need, if I need new tires, I don't want you to go out and, you know, go get my car washed. Like, don't wash my car. Don't clean my car. Don't, you know, don't do all that. Don't get my grass cut every week or whatever the case may be because I need new tires. Like, that's not what I asked you to do, or that's not what I need right now. Just using that as an example. You know, tires and grass cutting, that's two different spectrums. I know that's a bit much. But you see what I'm saying? Just kind of making sure you understand who you are dating in that time and in that moment and what it is that she needs, not just doing things because this is going to put a smile on her
just
face.
Shooting, kind of throwing darts at the boy.
Absolutely. So then that's when feelings get hurt. That's when, you know, you feel like, oh, I'm doing this right and I'm doing all this, but she still ain't happy, boy. You know, like that, because that's not what I.
Do me a favor, write that one down. I need that one for the fellas. Y'all get ready. I need that one. I need that one. Okay, what you got?
I guess I'll piggyback off of her.
Grab me one. Grab me one.
The independent stereotype, a lot of men, at least the men that I seem to come across, seem to think like that you want to be independent. And it's not necessarily that you want to be independent, it's more that you have to be independent. And like some of those things, like she's saying, just cutting the grass or getting the car washed, that would be nice sometimes.
Right.
It's like they don't think of that because they're like, oh no, she's independent, she's a single mother, she's used to doing all of this. Like, I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't. Help me.
Right. So let me ask though. Why do you think it's perceived that way? Because from a man, I believe it's generational. Like it's brought down. It's taught. It's seen. It's social media. It's a lot of that. So when men do see it, and we're quick to say what, and that's both. This is just me talking for men. I'm not talking about for y'all. What you won't do, somebody else will do. If I don't do it, Leroy down the street would love to do it. He's going to come cut the grass. He going to go get that car wash. He going to go get you some used tires, 2 used in the back and some new ones in the front, just so you don't spin out, you know what I'm saying, in the winter. He going to do what he has to do, so it's an ongoing thing. But why is it that you think that men feel like, that women feel like they're so, like, independent? Like, what's changed?
I feel like it is generational. I feel like a lot of people are in single-family homes, and they see their mother or it could be their father doing everything. So it's normalized now. They just think, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. You'll be all right. Right. It's like, well, if we're trying to make a relationship, we need to be partners. We need to be doing things together to help me and I help you. Right. Like, so is that a team? So is that a conversation when you first getting around and you say you know your person now? So you sit down and so you had a conversation like, hey, I'm independent, but these are things that I like. Do you think women should do that more, or you think that's something like where a guy needs to kind of scratch and sniff, kind of pick and jewel at it, or is that something that as adults now we need to have those clear conversations? I think it should be upfront. Yeah. It varies with everyone. I'm a very direct person, so I am always upfront. But there are a lot of people where they beat around the bush a little bit, or they kind of want you to figure them out, which is fine. But I would prefer for you to come straight to me with whatever is going on. Right. And I'm not saying like you have a long list, but when two people get together and you've been doing this without a person, and you've been doing this with a person, and now you got to do it, just have that conversation. I think a lot of times will save you a lot of that, because then you know this is more than what I bit off more than what I can chew. I can't do this. Let me trade this one in. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not trying to be funny, but from men and women, a lot of times I've heard lately, rent, lease, buy. Right? If you rent it, you don't like it, after the weekend, you take it back to Enterprise. You dig what I'm saying? You lease it, you don't like it, you take the Tahoe back to Chevy, let me pick something different, move my payment over here. If I buy that thing, when them tires is needed, you see what I'm saying? When it's time for oil change, I'm now responsible. Mm-hmm. But I believe that we all so quick to be like,
the relationship has to come. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, what was you gonna say? You had the mic in your hand. I thought you was about to bring me something.
So we were just talking about love languages, just understanding love languages between just anybody that you're dealing with in that time. And then to piggyback off of jumping into relationships, I think also sometimes, I'm going to say a lot of times in our culture, I'm going to pick on us a little bit.
That's real.
We don't know how to date, We date with the mindset that, I'm talking to so-and-so and that's who I'm talking to. This is my guy or that's my lady. And it's like, no, that's not dating.
Yeah.
You need to date.
What does that mean?
Multiplicity. And that's my, because just because you're dating someone does not mean that you all are intimate.
Yeah.
That does not mean anything. That means, okay, we're getting to know each other. We're going on little dates, around a city. We are getting to know one another.
Right.
And I think a lot of times people get so strung on that monogamous relationship.
Right.
And that's not what dating is. Dating is to see what you like. It's a shopping. It's a shopping game. You're supposed to shop around. And of course, it took me a long time to get to that point, especially, Christina knows, Porcia knows, I'm widowed. So, and it's been since 2012. So who I was married to was someone that I went to high school with. Yeah. So coming out, becoming widowed again at a young age and then dating someone that I married in a young age, I didn't know how to date. I didn't know how to date. I didn't know what that meant. And when you're in a committed relationship for so long, dating doesn't look fun to you at all. It's like, okay, I need to find my next person.
Right.
So that I can just, get back to what was comfortable for me. And that's just not, that's not it. Mm-hmm. You definitely, coming into age and getting into my later 20s, early 30s, I'm like, okay, this is dating. Dating is, just figuring out what it is that you want, but then also making sure that you understand who you are as a person, as a woman or a man, before you even get into dating people, because then you fall in some of those same little traps of thinking that, oh, I'm dating this person or I'm with this person, and so this is my person, and that's not healthy, in my opinion. So, just lighten it up a little bit when we go out and meet people. It's just a series of shopping. Treat it like a networking.
So are we like, okay, so this,
I say networking.
Get your mic.
So I'll piggyback on that because I see dating as networking. You're getting to know people, and it's just like a coming and go type of situation. You're not necessarily getting connected and linked in and locked in with this person,
Mm-hmm.
So
I totally agree with what you're saying, but I have a question, and it's, how do the men feel about that?
Yes.
Because I feel like a part of why we do start feeling like this is...
Write that down, too. This is a good one. Write it down.
I feel like a part of why we start feeling like this is my person because... And sometimes, but the man is like, okay, you my girl. I want you to go everywhere with me. I want you right here next to me. And you be like, wait, like, this ain't that. Like, exactly. I just met you. I don't even know you. Mm-hmm. So sometimes they can become a little clingy. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like sometimes, and then once you start being like, okay, this is my guy, then it's like, wait, what you doing? Like, this is not what.
In the table
so, so I feel like that's one of the conversations that we should have early on. But I also feel like we were talking about, you do have to be mature, because telling somebody you dating somebody else is hard.
Talk your talk.
It's definitely hard, and it takes a really mature person to understand, mature, and you got to be comfortable with yourself, because you could be like, well, you want to, sometimes with girls, they start looking up the other girl or who you talking to. They try to find out who you talking to, and it can just get really, really messy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why I think you shouldn't even be dating until you are comfortable, you feel like you have healed from a lot of things, because you could bring a lot of traumas from your, not even just from past relationships, from your childhood. Okay. Like, you can bring a lot of traumas into relationships that you don't even know that you're doing. So
Go ahead. You got it.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it goes right back to what you said earlier.
Too. She don't got nothing over there. Neither get her. Take. Okay. Okay. Cool.
No, I was just gonna say it goes back to what she said as far as communication. So for me, yes, I am dating because, like Shardae said earlier, it was just like I did think at first it's like you date some person. When you're dating, you just date one person, you just get engulfed with them. And I was like, no, I can't do that again. So now I'm dating, and I'm like, I'm very direct, upfront. So I'm like, you know what? Nah, they about to. So I was talking to this dude, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to go on a date with this other guy. He was like, oh, okay, So I'm like, if you're honest and upfront, like, it can't be like, no, oh, so I heard you was out, and no, because I told you upfront. Like, I'm telling you what I'm doing. So now where I'm at, I'm letting you know. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no secret. Ain't gonna be like, oh, I see Priscilla with, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and he's okay. Like, he looked like he's up for the competition, I guess you could say. So
Yeah.
I just feel like if we communicate and be upfront, then you ain't got to worry about he was into you, now it's reversing. He like, oh, and now, the flip-flop feelings. So it's just like being upfront. Communication is key.
Right.
And I feel like if we communicate in the beginning, it will not be no questions later.
I would agree. And I just want to add compatibility. Like,
Okay.
can we get to a compatibility test, like, early on?
Okay.
Are we even compatible?
Okay.
Like, are we compatible?
Keep going.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get mine.
do we
Keep
have
going.
some things in common? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I am today, where I plan to go, is that even the same thing? You know what I mean? Are you looking for long term?
Come on.
Are you just want a fun time? Let's just have that conversation.
I'm glad you said that. I'm next.
Front.
I'm next, y'all.
Because
I'm next.
because I'm just
I
saying.
want to let y'all know I'm next.
And
Let me give my shit.
And you said something earlier, and I'm like, a lot of times too, because I have been married, I just want to say to the women, we do have to be honest about how we have this expectation of husbands.
Yeah.
Sis,
Uh-huh.
you want a whole husband, and he's not your husband. He's not thinking about being a husband. He's that ain't nowhere on his radar.
Okay.
So let's be honest about it. Like, you know what you're dealing with. And honestly, I've learned that a man can only go as far as you allow him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's just be real and be honest. Like, don't act like you didn't know, because what I am finding is that whether or not y'all listen or not, I'm not for sure. But when you say what you say, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Sis, don't try to twist it. Don't try to make it into something else. What he said, no, sis, he told you he didn't have time.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
So because I'm like, when men do speak, they are pretty clear and they are pretty straightforward. So we just need to be real. And
So we do talk in circles. We do talk in circles.
I bet y'all do sometimes.
So we do. So we got some mental gymnastics that we play. Real quick before you go, I'm gonna give you. I got to get this off my chest. You know what I'm saying? What y'all saying is in a perfect world, and that's what we don't live in. We live in an artificial world. If I come to you right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say I'm dating all 5 of y'all, one person is gonna say I'm not. You're not going to pick me out of a lineup. You're going to choose me out of a lineup. You're going to go away. Another person's going to say, well, she ain't me. Then when you see me out with her, you're going to throw a drink on me because I was just with you last night. But you see what I'm saying? Like, but I want you to understand, but this is what we are forced to have on both sides. And it can go the same way. Whereas if I see a chick that I'm courting and she out with another dude, I'm sending 2 rounds over there off the flip. Hey, baby, you see me? Hey, I'm Tuesday. You were Thursday. I'm Tuesday. Don't get it messed up. You see what I'm saying? Hey, listen, this your day. But just know, I know her favorite drink. She like 3 ice cubes. She like her macaroni on this plate, not with her green. I know that. I didn't already put this time in. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm telling y'all is, like, I think it's dope if we really lived it. Yeah. Looking at it in the sense of us, and I'm not trying to be funny, black people can't do that. Because the first thing we want to do is, you playing games with me. You ain't about to be out here having me looking stupid. And I'm thinking we dating. Yep. We dating. You see what I'm saying? We dating. But you're not going to have me out here looking like this. And you feel the same way. How you feel this way with me if you feel this way with her? You don't feel that way. You don't like me. I do like you, but I like cheesecake. I like sweet potato pie. I just don't want it on this day and that day. But I do believe as men, we have to set the standard and say, that's what the cool is. So what you're saying is absolutely right. But I think a lot of men are so worried about, if I say this, how is she going to perceive it? how is it going to be taken? How is it going to be looked upon? Is she going to look at me as a player or she look at me as an honest man? I will tell you, prior to when I was married prior, my game was the honest. You had a choice. Only thing I want to do is make you smile, and at the end of this thing, maybe we can still be friends. Because I'm for the moment. I'm for everybody's moment. The moment is everything. I got a partner in Houston. He tell me all the time, ain't no next time. You don't get her that night, don't count on Tuesday and Thursday or the next week because you may not see her. It's a bigger city. It's a bigger market. You see what I'm saying? But just like cereal, when you go in there, I don't need granola today. I need oatmeal. You see what I'm saying? It's just what it is. So I think when you're honest like that, it'll hurt you more than it'll help you in a man's standpoint. In a woman's standpoint, fellas, they'll get prideful and be like, oh, I ain't tripping. You can do it. But when you get in the car, God damn. Damn. And then don't let it be your partner that she courting as well as you. You see what I'm saying? Because we see a lot of memes, right? I should have waited till I seen his friends before I picked him. You dig what I'm saying? Like we have a lot of those situations where you be like, oh yeah, I'm kicking it with he cool, right? You see my partner, you like, hey, what's up with your boy? But I have to be mature enough to know that I'm not your type or it's not my season for you. You see what I'm saying? I have to. So I tell my partners, I tell my homegirls and my homeboys, if the person that you align with is in my camp, if they not your flavor, I tell my partners don't get disrespectful, don't do none of that, because it's a rule of thumb. Just pass. It's just do a hard pass. Ain't no point in no, man, fuck that bitch, or this hoe this that, or it's just because it gets that way, right? But anybody that's around me, I make sure they understand, like, hey, bro, you just not for the picking, because they don't want what you have to bring to the table, whatever that may look like. You see what I'm saying? But what y'all saying is perfectly honest. But in a black culture, man, it'll be so many sisters that's your mans before the end of the week. Like, nah, bro, he was just over here last night. You got to think about it, like, it'll be so many pictures like, oh, so he was over there last night, but he here today. Oh, he took you to Eddie V's. We on our way to Miami. He's taking me to Steak 48. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it'll be a competitional thing with men. And when it becomes that thing, and ladies are gonna hold it to a standard, like, hey, now it's not personal, but it's personal, because now it's, hey, you gotta buy me some shoes to show me you like me more than her, because that's the society we live in. I wish it was a fact of really getting to know each other and compatible tests and all of those things, but when you're doing it in the sense of, well, you loved her this way, so to show me that you love me more, it now becomes a competition. You dig what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, but I definitely give it to the fellas. So when you look at it, you got something that you want to pull, or you good? So when you look at it, this is my thing too. I like to do this. We're gonna come back to this too, and I just want y'all to throw some stuff out too. 24 hours in a day, just so we make sure, because I'm big on mental. I'm big on your mental, right? 24 hours in a day. You wake up every day, kids, family, your life, businesses, whatever you're doing, right? What is that 2 hours of yourself look like? How do you balance this thing we call life? How do you balance it? What does that look like? Anybody can go first. Anybody can go second. You've already kind of done it, so it don't really matter.
I can go, but 2 hours of you saying, like, what do I do?
Where do you find your time? Where's your time in your day?
In my bed. I just like to chill. Like, I want to turn everything off. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to entertain. I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill, watch some TV. And it's crazy because I used to not even like TV.
Right.
Now I find it soothing because it's like, okay, I just want to be right here. Whatever's going on outside, I don't care. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be in my bed. So that's mine.
Okay. What about you?
My 2 hours is at the gym. I zone out. That's my me time. Don't have to worry about a thing besides my workout. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I guess being in business, raising a family, I have learned to enjoy like my time. So that might look like, want to go treat myself to a personal service. That could be nails. That could be taking myself. I like to date myself. Okay. And that's something that I think a lot of people need to get okay with. You don't need to have nobody to date yourself, So I believe in taking myself out to dinner, to the show. I even go out of town by myself. I will book an entire trip and go out of town by my whole self. So those are the times that I find, where I do me, know, and I'm unapologetic about that, because the older that you get, you realize how precious having your own time is. It's extremely hard to be good to everybody else when you don't take care of you.
Right.
As she said, silence is golden, and I have learned that. I will sit in a car before I go in the house because it gets real noisy. In fact, I love it when all the kids are in the bed. So that's usually like around 10:30, 11 o'clock, the house gets real quiet. And I just be like, yes. So I just, I find joy in the small things.
Okay. What about you, friend?
So I would say I'm kind of like Christina. I'm just a wild card. It really depends on where I am, what I'm doing in that day.
Okay.
I might find myself at the spa, getting a facial, get a massage. Or like her, I'm booking a trip. And then I just plug stuff in my calendar, so that way certain days come up, I look at my calendar like, oh, okay, I got a massage today, or I got a wax, or this or that. So I just kind of pre-plan for stuff, and then if I'm on a whim, I'm pulling up at a bar, restaurant, might have a little cocktail. I mean, I try to treat every day like I'm on a vacation, so just doing whatever flies by that day, I'm rolling with it. So wild card.
2 hours for me, so I don't have kids or anything.
Okay. So you up? It's up. I'm outside. I'm outside.
So I'm outside. I am a traveler, like by heart. I love traveling. Actually, I might be taking my first vacation to Hawaii in a couple of weeks by myself. So that'll be like a good experience. But 2 hours, I love working out. Well, let me not lie. I do not love working out. I love to keep my body in its shape that it is now, so I work out a lot and book flights. That's what I love doing.
So I think
spare time.
I think y'all said something dope though when y'all was like, date yourself. I think that's needed. But I think a lot of fellas don't. They think it's cornball. But I had some seasons where I did take myself to the movies, where I did sit in the booth and it's me and my chicken and people walking by kind of like, bro, what's wrong? But you have to learn who you are as a person. And I think with men, we attach who we are to how we make women feel. You dig what I'm saying? So if I make you happy, I'm a great man. But if I make you sad, or if I make you question me, then I fumble a lot. You dig what I'm saying? You'll fumble a lot as a man. So I think that it's important that men do learn how to date themselves. I think if they learn how to travel by themselves too, it's cool. I did it recently. It was one of them things. But my couple of my homeboys, they was really like, bro, your life will change just kind of like going out by yourself. And I had to find really in the moment, all right, bro, it's what it is. If this don't get this or that, we'll worry about that. All that other stuff is here. But that moment, I was able to reset in the sense of being able to be a better father for my kids. You see what I'm saying? But a better person, better overall person. So it was cool. It was cool going and kicking it and seeing your folks and moving around.
And it may be an opportunity where you may meet somebody.
Yeah.
Because you're just out there by yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just while you in the booth with the chicken, she's across the way with a glass of wine, and you like, she by herself? And organically, you know what I mean? Something happens and something sparks. So.
So with that, do you think, so let me ask y'all this on your perspective. Is it easier for women to approach a group of men, or is it harder for men to approach a group of women? So if you see if a guy see a group of girls out and it's just him, I need one of my homies to be the wingman, but maybe
my
he can't.
goodness.
So what's the balance? Do you think it's easier that way? Do you think nowadays women are they aggressive?
Straightforward. They real aggressive.
Is we tonight, tomorrow, when we going out, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But what do you think is easier?
I think it's appropriate for women to flirt in a very nice, sexy but mature way. I mean, just what I said. I might so my girlfriend Tamala, one of the things I love, her mama said, it's always good to give them a good smile. It's just an acknowledgement that says it's safe.
Yeah.
It's safe.
Because some of y'all do have that look.
Yeah.
Don't walk up to me.
What if you always
approach
smiling?
me.
Then you might not need to
Like-
smile. You might need to wink. You might have to wink or something. But just a
Why she
nice
can't
smile.
smile?
She said, "What if you always smile?"
I always smile. So
Yeah, that might throw him off.
throw it to everybody. Like, no, that's not what I meant. You know.
But I think it's a nice way just to welcome them in. So if I smile at you, and you kind of know the type of smile too.
Yeah.
It might be a smile with a wink. It might be, a hey, how you doing? And she keep moving, but if she be like, hey,
So if I'm in the Walmart,
yeah,
and I look over in your basket, what you got in your basket, and you hit me with the hair, like, hey, I got this. I'm about to make the kids something to eat. Do I got to wait for you to kind of walk slow? How do I know when it's time to?
Well,
to
women
shoot
are
yourself?
always waiting for the men to lead, and I think that's one of the things.
Right.
It's not our job to try to coast a relationship
Right.
or even an introduction. So if you have the, enough drive in you to be like, hey, what's in your basket? And I say, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm just shopping for a few things. It's going to be up to you what you say
you carry
next.
it on? Okay.
Absolutely. I'm not going to just be like, hey, so you want to go on a date? Or, you know what I mean?
No, I gotta ask because like sometimes you see it, and I've talked to my partners and they like, bro, if I shot my shot at this, excuse me, as I be honest, with transparent, I shot at a little baby. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work. But I think sometimes men are either too much or too less. You see what I'm saying? So my question is, how do you find that balance of being like, hey, if you would give advice to fellas, basically what I need.
Yeah, I would say study her, even if it's for 30 seconds. Study her. You should know within a couple of minutes after looking at a woman kind of how she's moving.
Yeah.
Is she moving fast? Is she fast paced? Is she kind of taking her time? Does she look like she's got a lot of stuff on her mind? Because sometimes I think men approach women and it don't have nothing to do with them, but maybe she just got a lot of things on her mind that day and she's not even thinking about it. So just watch her for a few minutes before you make your move. Then, test it like y'all good at. Y'all test a lot. So test the waters. See if it's a little hot right now, a little cold.
The test don't work.
You don't think the test work?
No,
it works.
I think these days, it's more or less of it's really throwing darts at the wall, man. Because
Nah, you gotta be more intentional. I mean, if you are intentional, I just feel like when you go into a thing, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
Are you just saying, like Shardae said, because you said a word earlier, which was courting, and I'm like, see, that's different than dating.
Yeah.
But the context of things are used in. But if you just are casually looking to meet people, you already know kind of what that looks like.
Yeah.
So again, if you've already done a lot of dating, using those past experiences to kind of draw from, okay, she looked like she might be kind of, because you took the time to study her. You just can't throw darts. You want to know what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
Know your target.
Maybe even putting yourself in a certain environment to get the type of woman that you're looking for, because you're not going to find maybe the material of a wife in certain settings.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But if you're looking for a good time, there's a setting for that.
Well, see, okay, so go ahead. You first.
I'm just going to piggyback off of what Christina said. Sometimes certain conversations don't need to be had in certain environments. I feel like sometimes men can go this way and it's just like, no, let's stay here because this is just fun. Mm-hmm. But you like trying to go into like, okay, well, so how many kids you got? Are you open to going on a date tomorrow? And I know you have to shoot your shot real fast, but choose, choose the moment, stay in the moment, because sometimes, every woman don't want to be courted, so to speak, in certain environments. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
So, okay. So y'all said it. So I'm just I'm just here for the fellas. Like, fellas, I'm just here for y'all. So check this out. So if it's for the moment, as best as I can say it without saying it, what determines what's the caliber of a person or a man that says, all right, I'm going to just play with you, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to sign off. Is it more or less him being transparent? Is it more or less if that's what I'm on the same stuff you on? How do you, because a lot of people now it's just for the moment. It's just for the fun.
Yeah.
Like it's just for the kick. So you said be honest. So when you're honest, why is it later on, this dude was just in my inbox and he want to have sex with me? Or he wants to kick it with me on this level, and now you're offended by it. But you see what I'm saying? So how do we balance that part?
And I think, again, that goes back to the ladies having a certain level of accountability for ourselves, right? So, and I just had this conversation with my daughters. I have teenage daughters. And one of my nieces was in an outfit on Facebook that I felt like was absolutely inappropriate for her age.
Right.
and it was like a come get me outfit, and she's just 17. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm on Facebook or I'm even out and about in a come and get me outfit, and somebody is inboxing me talking about when can we why am I upset? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's how you presented yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that we have to be mindful, even as women, with the type of men that we're wanting to attract. You must carry yourself that way for the type of men that you're looking to attract. And vice versa. You know, if a man is looking for a woman and you like, I want somebody that I can wife and take home to mama, you might not be looking at the come and get me girl.
Right.
Because, she used to have a good time. And that's cool. But back to when I was talking about compatibility, it doesn't matter if it is within the first 5 minutes. Let's get real clear. What you trying to do?
Yeah.
Because if I'm looking for an opportunity to be married and to have this family kind of environment, I want to know up front. I'm not even interested in wasting a whole bunch of time. Let's just have that conversation.
Right.
After we've acknowledged that we want to have another phone call after the grocery store at Walmart while you're looking in my basket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, our next step is to kind of find out what you're looking for. Because it doesn't make sense for us to go on 2 or 3 months and later I know that you just was looking for a good time and I already knew up front what I wanted.
Right. But do you feel like, too, I think with that, like, women know what men want and they'll just play along with the game, too?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I always say. I'm big on accountability. And I'm like, it's enough of us having to say, like, oh, they just want to do this, they just want to do that. No, we have to be accountable. You know what I mean? You know how he's approaching you, the things that he's saying to you. You kind of know where he's going. You know what I mean? And if that's not the way you're going, sis, go ahead and let him know that. No, I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, and move forward. But
a lot of the times women think that they can change a man. So, for example, I just met this fine chocolate man, but he told me he's a polyamorous. So I knew right then and there, it's a wrap. But he was telling me about the girl he was talking to a couple months ago, and I guess she just thought, like, she could change him. And he was like, no, like, you knew, I told you who I was, what I wanted up front. So I felt like we as women have to be, like you say, realistic and accountable and say, okay, he's telling me what he wants, or you know what I mean? He's telling me what he wants, so I was like, so I know I'm exit this door left over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
but look, he was
fine, but I can't do it. You know
or if I'm gonna do it, I know what I'm signing up for.
Exactly. If I stick with it, I know. So I can't get surprised when another woman comes along. You're like, here, Priscilla, me. No, I know what I signed up for because you told me what you wanted. That's just me, though. We just got to be real.
I just want to play devil's advocate right now. Just, so you know how we're talking about, you know what you want right then and there and all this and all that. But like you said earlier, we change. So you might be, okay, and I'm just going to give a scenario. Say you just got out of a relationship, and when dude meets you, you are looking for, like, I want to be in a relationship. Like, that's your norm. But 2-3 months down the line, you've been kicking it, you've been having fun, you've been dating yourself, you've been doing all of that, and now you don't really want that. And dude is ready to put you in a relationship and court you and, all of that. And so how do you handle that situation?
Be honest with him and let him know. I think it doesn't matter where you are, wherever you are, you need to be honest. You know what? I appreciate you for wanting to, settle down with me. But at this time, it's changed for me, and that's not what I want. I think that's the best thing we can do is just be honest, because we do change. I mean, one day I might want to be in a relationship. The next day I'm like, I'm good with this single life. I'm totally enjoying me. If you know that he's looking for something more permanent, you don't want to waste his time. You want to let him know it's fair. I appreciate you. I even like you, but I'm moving in a different direction, and I want to respect you. So at this time, I don't want to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? And I want you to be, happy in what you want and so forth. So either way, just be honest.
Just be honest. Gotcha.
Let's see what you got.
Okay.
So I wanted to play devil's advocate too, like what she said about the image. So being in the fitness world, a lot of people think that I'm vain, and I do wear a lot less clothing than a lot of people the majority of the time. So, like, I could be working out or something, and I'll get a disrespectful inbox, probably about 50 of them a day, and I'm not doing anything but my job. And so I think as a woman, you do kind of have to be mindful of it. So, like, there's even some things that I won't post that people might want to see me do that is like, I can't do it because I already know what type of attention or what I'm going to attract with that. And after a while, you just get sick of it. So,
and I can, I agree that because I'm like, at the end of the day, you are working out. But you know what I'm saying? You are working out. So that's going to require for you not to be in a turtleneck and a sweatshirt. You know what I'm saying?
She put that turtleneck
She
on.
could. But you know, she,
Giving my guys all of the heat.
A lot of men will approach me and they'll think something totally different. They think that I'm this person, and it's like I'm not a video vixen.
I'm not. This is my business.
Like I'm in it for health, not to
hold
just
on.
look good.
So with that, I think that a lot of times they approach you that and they see it as that because of the fact that social media.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't no shade on nobody. Dr. Miami making bread.
Yeah.
But when you see some of these people, they like, it ain't natural. You dig what I'm saying? Right? So cats are vision. Like, it look good. It got to feel good. It got to taste good because it looked good. She made the salmon. Adjacent to it was some loaded mashed potatoes. It looked good. When I taste it, it's got a bad. It don't taste like Grandma used to make it. It don't taste like Longhorn make it. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm not never telling you to change who you are. I think that you have to. I think we, as people, we have to lower not our expectations, but we have to be okay with the letdown. Like, it's not going to always be what we think it's going to be. You see what I'm saying? But we have to go quality over quantity. And I think a lot of people is just like, with guys, they're like, bro, if I see her, she's bad. I have to, me being honest, asking you to come on the show, I'm like, will she say yes to me because I'm just starting a podcast? You see what I'm saying? But it's more or less of, hey, I'm basing it off of the vibe. I'm basing it off of the fact that people only see you in this light. So it's important that when you come over here, they get to see you talk. Because they only see you doing push-ups and sit-ups and whatever else you're doing and doing that. So that's how they equate you to who you are. When we look on your social media as men, okay, she like mimosas on Sundays. It's going to be a mimosa in that glass when she walk in here. You see what I'm saying? She like to kick it with her girls, and they taking pictures at Boogaloo on the swing. Like Miami on the yacht. So naturally what we do, we go out of town, we go to Miami, we get in the boat because that's what we're programmed to repeat, recycle, and rinse, like all over again. You dig what I'm saying? So for a man, it's really just going off of, I got one shot, and if I miss, I miss. I say with boys. With men, if you want it, you're going to shoot every day, every other day, every 3 to 4 days. Like, because I got to be consistent. But don't have them being consistent, and they ain't even in the race. You see what I'm saying? Like, they not even, you don't even qualify. A lot of my partners, when I talk to them, they like, bro, I'm shooting at her. Instead of her just saying, nah, you ain't my speed, it's LOL. It's emoji coming back. You dig what I'm saying? You playing with this dude's mind, right? You got him mentally messed up. So he thinks he has a snowball's chance in hell, and he doesn't. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of my partners, you see what I'm saying? They looking at it like, bro, I got a chance, bro. She fooling with me. But then I'm upset when I walk in the joint, and you sit next to, you know what I'm saying, this cat, and I'm like, bro, you messing with Stacy? Like, you ain't messing with Mike from the Wood. You messing with Stacy. Like, this is what. So you mess up your mind in the sense of that. You dig what I'm saying? So I think everything's been great, man. We've been rolling for a little minute, man. I got a couple more, and we're gonna get ready to get out of here. But I want to challenge you guys. Like I said, again, just jot me down some more. If anybody, we can do 2 more. Like, just some perspective things that you want to tell to the fellas. Like, if you can give me some, if you can give them, I'm not saying game. But if you can give them some knowledge on just how to court a woman, how to approach. If you can give me some of that, you can give me that on the mic right now. You can give me just, how would you say it?
Consistency. Don't start out with consistency and not follow through with consistency.
Right.
I mean, I understand that sometimes a guy, like you said, they get to know you and like, she ain't the one, or she ain't who I want to deal with. But if you keep dealing with someone and you become inconsistent for whatever reason, that needs to be communicated, you know. I think for most people, I'm an energy person, so when I notice that someone's energy is, you know, falling off, I'm questioning everything. Like, hey, what's up? Because I'm not an insecure person. I'm not a jealous person, and I don't expect to go into something that's going to create that type of vibe of jealousy, insecurity, and all of that. So as long as my energy is good with the person, I think we're good. But when my energy starts to roller coaster, I'm questioning, I'm acting funny, I'm falling back because I don't know what you got going on, where you at, and So just what is that consistency thing, with men? Why isn't that something that's maintained?
Okay.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Come on.
Learn her love language, like they was talking about earlier. Every woman doesn't want to give. Some people.
Hold on. Is it really real, though?
It is. Yes. Yes.
What it is, just look that up.
Yeah. It's a whole book. It's a whole test you can go online and get for free.
I took the test in the book, and this is just in my life, just general, right?
Okay.
I think men don't know when it changed. So is that for a woman to say, like, my love language has now changed?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It goes back.
At the same time?
Correct.
Right, yeah. So it's like back to communicating.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
communication is key in all relationships, whether it's with your girlfriend or with your man. Y'all got to communicate and understand where you are at that point. Because like you say, you can be here now, but 3 months later, something might change, and you might not want that. So it's like communicating, talking to each other. That's the only way we're going to know what's going on.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's real. Okay.
And I would just say, take the time to really understand the difference between dating, courting, and marriage.
Okay.
I think oftentimes we go into dating with the marriage idea. Everybody wants to kind of play house. You know what I mean? You have this expectations that she's cooking for you, that she's cleaning for you, that she's sexing you, that she's doing all these things that are really wifely things. You understand what I'm saying? On a dating kind of situation. And that's not really it. So find out kind of really what you want. I just want to kind of date and have fun. I just want to rent the car. You know what I'm saying? And there may be a point where I decide as a man, you know what I mean, I'm now ready to kind of settle down. I believe every man has his own expiration date when he knows it's time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you're not there, that's okay. You don't have to force that. You know what I mean? But just really kind of knowing the difference between dating, courting, which is a little bit more serious. Okay, out of all the fishes in the sea, this fish caught my eye. You know what I mean? And we moving towards, I guess, whatever we moving towards, and then I'll make the decision. But I just think in our community we don't know the difference, and it's important for our generation to kind of understand that, so everybody kind of know where they are. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. So when we're dealing with relationships and we're dealing with friendships and situationships, whatever they want to call it nowadays, do you think that the damage prior, so example, you know what I'm saying, cup has something in it, right? So some residue still in there, of course. So now when I come to you and you said being divorced, how much of this residue are you holding against the next man versus do everybody get a clean glass?
Everybody should have a clean.
You see what I'm saying? Do you think that realistically women give everybody that, or do they say, and it's everybody, like, do you think that it's like, no, you're gonna, because he didn't do this, you're gonna do this? Is that one of those, like, I know better now type deals, or what is it?
I would say realistically, no, nobody has a clean glass, because your life is based off of your experiences. So you're going to treat somebody according to how you were treated before, whether that was you were a kid and a man did something to you, or you were an adult and a woman broke your heart. Like, everybody's holding on to a little bit of something. Now, you shouldn't necessarily use it against that person, but still be cautious going forward.
No doubt.
And I mean, I guess some of that is, truth. But I mean, I just feel like when you are ready to enter into something new, and a lot of times we don't take the time to wash the dish.
Okay. But why?
Because of several reasons. Fear of being alone. Fear of moving forward, fear of the unknown. It's all kind of different reasons. But mostly people struggle with being by themselves.
Yeah.
So instead of me taking this time to heal, I'm on this like rush to like find somebody to fill this void.
Yeah.
No, take the time, wash the dirty dishes.
Yeah.
Let them dry out. Double rinse them if necessary. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I'm just trying to say. Because there's a lot of great guys out here, and I know we're talking from the woman's perspective, but there's a lot of women who do damage too. And sis is just not taking the time to clean the dishes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, I do believe that our experiences shape us, but everybody that you meet and you decide to enter into a relationship with, they need to be given a clean opportunity with you.
No doubt.
Yeah, they understand your past. They know what's going on, what you've been through, so they're a little bit more conscious. Okay. You know what I mean? But the reality is that if we're going to step into this relationship realm, be clean.
Yeah.
Be honest and be clean. Okay. You know what I mean? Everybody deserves that.
I got a question. That's okay. So what does clean look like? How do you know when you are clean?
Well, I think it's
Not just you two.
Oh, okay.
Answer too. Hey, come on. No, y'all ain't just. Yeah, give him another round. So let's come on. What's up?
So I'll take my bid because I know Shardae gonna tear it up. But
come on.
I mean, it's just that time to detox.
Yeah.
You know, take the time. Like, when you have given yourself enough time to get over something. You know what I'm saying? It's no time frame on it. If it takes you a year, one of my past relationships, no lie, I was celibate for 5 years, but I can say that whole time after that relationship, it took me that length of time before I could even think about doing something with somebody else. 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So if whatever the amount of time is, just do that. But the process is about working on you. Gotcha. It's the reflection of what role did I play in this? You know, that back to the level of accountability. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what they did, because people only do what we allow them to do. So if it's something that they're doing to us, what is it that I am allowing? What do I need to work on to shift that? Because if I take these same habits from a past relationship into the new relationship, I get the same results. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, getting clean is self-reflection. Also, if you need to talk to somebody about some things, get you a therapist and kind of move through some things, prayer, whatever your thing is, that whole dating yourself, getting to know what you like. Half the time I'm like, we can't even communicate what we like because we don't know what we like. Because you waiting on your experience to come by somebody else. Like, get out here and experience the world for yourself and really find out what you like. So when he asked you, you already know what you like. Because they'll ask sometimes. You'll be like, I don't know. Like, girl, you better live a little. Like, learn what you like.
You don't even know what you want to eat, let alone like. What you want to eat it? I don't know. What you want?
Look, I'm going to tell you, I want to go to so. But now, just to piggyback off of Christina and what you were saying, so talking about the dirty glass, it's triggers. There's triggers, things that people do that just completely set you off or set you back from dealing with a certain person. And I think you can come into a situation with a clean slate, but like you said, yes, it's a two-way street. You try to start off with a clean glass, but that dirty glass get triggered because, somebody might do something. You're like, you know what? I'm not doing this one. Yeah. And then that's when you have to be honest, too, and say, hey, I don't really like that, you know. And I think, and honestly, yesterday, somebody asked on Facebook a question. They posed a question that simply stated, what's one thing that you learned in your past relationships? And I had two things, or no, what's one thing or some type of advice? So number one, like my daddy used to always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but I think that's for the dating part. You don't want to just deal with that one person. But anyway, then the next thing is just being open and honest and just speaking your truth every time, addressing those issues, addressing what makes you feel a certain way, what don't, because you let things build up, the situation come up again, and it creates a whole problem. So I just think being honest up front. But another thing I feel like with coming in, knowing that you're healed or whatnot, for me, my heal was, I guess, a little different because, when you're dealing with someone who is no longer here, it's like, okay, dating, oh my God, I'm nervous and somebody's going to see me out with another person. So when I stopped feeling scared or feeling like, I'm nervous or feeling like I'm doing something wrong, that's when I knew that I was healed. Yeah. That's when I knew that I could move forward and start feeling like, okay, I can do this. I can date. I can talk to people. I can, hang out, whatever the case may be. That's when I realized, like, I feel good. I can do this. So, I think when you know that you've kind of healed from something or you've moved past a certain situation, you know that feeling, So I guess, and then like she said, just kind of being in prayer about it or even forcing yourself to do the things that make you feel scared or intimidated, putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations to get past that thing.
And if you know you're not ready, just don't do it.
Yeah.
That's another part. I just think that we fear being by ourselves and being alone, and we just do stuff, and you're not ready. You know you an emotional wreck. Right. You know you still got a lot of scars that you would inflict. I'm sorry. onto that individual. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you know you're not ready, just don't do it. When she was like, the glass is still a little dirty. Like, if I know that if I drop the glass in the sink, it's gonna break.
Yeah,
I'm going to avoid doing that. It would be in my best interest because I already know kind of what that looks like on the back end. So,
what you have? What you got? It's cool. Okay, so check this out. We didn't have a good one with this one. So, the goal is to keep these going. I talked to C. We're gonna always kind of do them here. You know what I'm saying? Quarterly. It's a goal. So the goal is to make sure that we can have other people come. Some people will be requested back because I love the dialogue. But again, I want y'all to fill them out. Got some other stuff we're going to do after this and everything. But think about other people. Challenge other people to come. Challenge other people to be a part of it. But I wanted to, this is just like your ground level. As it grows, I want it to be so uncomfortable. And not in a bad way, not in a drama-filled way. But I want it to be uncomfortable because a lot of times men we don't know. Like, we don't, and we're dealing with a lot of trauma. And the reason why I say glass, and I can relate to you, is seeing going out and feeling guilty for having fun, for being out, being in a certain place or in a certain environment. But this is what makes you happy for the moment. Not saying it doesn't change, not saying you don't go. So if you think of like cats that you think will be good, because when I get to do these fellas, I'm going to give y'all, we're going to guard y'all a little bit. With them, I ain't going to guard them because I really want them to understand that because we don't step up, we get stepped on. You dig what I'm saying? As men. Like, I really feel like, and it's not a power thing, so don't take it wrong when I say this, but the power is now in the behold of a woman because she gets to say, this is my expectations, yes, but we'll just go with them knowing that we can't meet them, knowing that we can't do them, knowing that we can't get there, we can't give them what they need. But the fear of being alone for a lot of men is what gets us. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna do the fellas here real soon. We're gonna come back and do another one with the ladies again. We're just gonna keep building them. Just keep building them. So that way, your daughters, your sons, they'll have a key of life that they can kind of go to, in the sense and say, hey, this is some of the things they were dealing with at that time. Because the way social media is moving now, by the time your kids and your grandkids get older, it's gonna be way different. Like the approach of dating is going to be different. The approach of a wedding, of marriage. If you look at it in the sense of even simple things like weddings and baby showers and bridal showers, that thing has got so grand when Big Mama and them was just happy with just being in love. Just having all the kids in the house, everybody in the living room listening to music. Me and my partner, we laugh and joke. Some of our best moments is when we don't go anywhere. Like, these moments are the moments that guys love. Because it's not that I don't want to take you out in the world. I don't want nobody to see you. I don't got to compete. But I get to know you. I don't get to know the watered down version of you. I don't get to pull up to the house and see you glammed all up. I get to see you in the bonnet. I get to see you in the form. You know what I'm saying? Like, those things are important for men. Just me telling y'all from that. So just keep writing them down, of course. We're going to get ready to get up out of here. Give me your handles if you want everybody to be able to reach out to you. Just kind of look you up or whatever. They going to live vicariously through y'all, so make sure you good, however you want to do it. And we're going to keep this thing rolling, man, and we'll do it, and it'll be just Kansas City's, her perspective. And then we'll take it to another city, and we'll just keep building this thing to where it can be something big, where it can be a guide for some people. It might be our new version of the 5 love languages. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's the goal. Like, the goal is to have a vision of this being something that you can write down later on and say, hey, this is what we use and this works. You see what I'm saying? Cool. So everybody go through one by one. Give me your handles real quick, and we're going to get ready to get up out of here.
P Dimples, P like Peter, DIMPLEZ, like zebra. Oh, sorry. P Dimples, P like Peter, DIMPLEZ, P Dimples.
All right, it's style by her _Shardae Shears, STYLED as in dog, HER. And Vivid Events KC, VIVID EVENTS KC, Instagram and Facebook.
All right.
The _Christina Williams, and also the Black BLAKKCO.
Body Love _KC. Spelled out just how it sounds, and then also You Love Miss Perry, just the letter U.
Goldie Powell on Facebook, Cyber Creations on Instagram. That's CYBERCREATIONZ, and then the Blacklist, and that's the BLAKCLIST.
That's Cool Breeze.
Al at Instagram. That's GoodDays, GreatNights. That's Alfred Humble Garner on Facebook. Call your auntie. She'll tell you how to reach me. Holler at your cool cousin, the one that's riding on that Chevy. Me and him then rode down Truman on a Saturday, listen to some good music. He know how to get in contact with me. One more thing before we go. Show Me Candles. She's one of my good friends. She took care of us on some candles. She always kind of give us a lot of love. So I appreciate it again, ladies, so much. Hanging out with me, man. Make sure y'all finish your cups and get a couple refills. I appreciate y'all coming. Like, you gotta understand, like, for a man to be in a room with women that's confident is the greatest thing ever, because he doesn't have to worry about how I make her feel. She already knows how to feel. These are her feelings. You dig what I'm saying? So until the next time, never goodbye. I always see you later. I don't believe in goodbyes. May God be your direction and we be your seatbelt in this thing called life, or vice versa. May y'all be cool, be safe. Till we meet again, y'all be cool.
Hey, look.
Right down to
What's good with you? How the fam doing? Everybody Gucci?
slow motion.
Listen to. Just want you to understand all the men